Let's chat and cook a chicken. Two things I love to do. Today I'm showing you how to roast a spatchcock chicken and how to make the crispiest skin ever using a secret ingredient. One secret ingredient. You'll have to watch and you'll never guess what it is. I like to buy about a 5-pound bird. I find that's perfect for 2 people, and then you'll have leftovers, or it will feed about 4 people if you're having a nice dinner party with your friends. If you've never cooked a small chicken, you need to take out the innards, the giblets, inside the bird. So you see how I'm doing that. Seems a little gross. It's nothing. I guarantee it's easy. Don't throw those out though. We're going to be using them, and my dog loves the liver, little sauteed liver, as does my husband Pat. And that neck bone makes it delicious chicken stock, so don't throw that out either. Next, just pat it dry and put it on a clean cutting board, and we're going to start to remove the backbone. By removing the backbone, that is how we spatchcock the chicken. I flip the bird to the side where the backbone is. I locate it. I like to use my kitchen snips for this task. I find it's easier than a knife. I have more accuracy, and I just simply cut down each side of the backbone. Kitchen snips are a great investment for your kitchen. Nice and sharp, makes it easy to do tasks like this. You can see you're going to get a little resistance. It's hard to cut through the muscle and some of the bone, so just keep cutting, and then save that backbone. We're going to be using it in our next step to make the beautiful chicken jus. For all you young people out there that want to sort of dazzle your friends and have them over for a nice dinner party, how fun is that? Nothing is easier than this, and nothing is more impressive than this spatchcock chicken, and nothing is more delicious. So I highly recommend for your first dinner party trying this. There, you got it. There's the backbone. Put it aside and save it. We're going to use it next. Now that's the breastbone in there. Some people take it out. I choose to leave it in. I think it keeps the moisture around the breast portion of the chicken, which tends to dry out, so I just leave that in there. Now I use the back of my hand, give a couple good pounds on the chicken just to flatten it out more. The reason I love spatchcock chicken is because we've removed the backbone and flattened out the chicken, we have this larger surface, and it will cook much more quickly in the oven than a whole bird that it doesn't have the bone taken out. Now I pat dry the chicken on both sides. We don't want any extra moisture in there, and we're getting ready for the secret ingredient that's going to make that crispy skin. Okay, I'm sharing the secret ingredient, baking powder. Baking powder and sea salt is what we're going to use to dry brine our spatchcock chicken. Now there's some fancy words to throw around at your dinner party and impress your friends. Mix 1 tablespoon of sea salt and 1 teaspoon of baking powder. Mix that together and then rub it all over both sides of your spatchcock chicken. And then we're going to put that into the fridge for up to 24 hours. And do not have to cover it in the fridge. This is going to help the skin dry out and infuse flavor into the meat. Who would have thought? Baking powder. And believe me when I say, the chicken, you will not taste the baking powder in the skin when you eat it. Scientifically, I guess what's going on is the baking powder, it breaks down the peptide bonds in the chicken skin as well as raises the pH level, and together those two activities cause the skin to dry out, and that will allow it to bake and get crispy. Coat both sides with this dry brine, and then you're going to put it onto a foil-lined baking sheet with a sort of cookie drying rack to catch to catch the drips that may come out. And then you're going to slip that into your fridge for up to 24 hours. Today, because I wanted to bake it tonight, I left it in the fridge for about 6 to 7 hours, and it was delicious. It worked great. So as many of you know, I'm on the 75 Hard Challenge. So sweet potatoes are great on my diet, and they're yummy. So while it's dry brining in the fridge, I decided to bake my sweet potatoes, many more than we need just for dinner, but so that I can have them throughout the rest of the week. I just prick with a fork all over each sweet potato, coat them in a little bit of olive oil, pop them in the roasting oven at 425 for about 45 minutes. But as you can see, some of them are small, so I took the smaller ones out earlier. Now it's been about 6 hours, and I want to get the bird into the oven, so I coat it in about 1 tablespoon of olive oil and some sea salt. I like to add a nice squeeze of fresh lemon juice over the skin as well to give it some good flavor and also keep it moist. A little more salt and pepper before it goes into roasting doesn't hurt either. And I put that into the roasting oven also at 425. While that's roasting, I start my jus using that backbone that we took out. We're going to cut up 1 stalk of celery, carrot, and a half an onion. I use 3 tablespoons of butter. I like to put a little shake of my hot pepper flakes. I have 1 cup of water and 1 cup of chicken stock, a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar, and a teaspoon of soy sauce. I start by heating the 1 tablespoon of olive oil, and I'm going to cook for 3 minutes that backbone just to infuse the olive oil with that really great chicken flavor and get all the crispy chicken bits on the bottom. After about 3 minutes, remove the chicken and then add into that oil your vegetables, and you're going to let those soften for about 5 or 10 minutes at the most. Then you will add in your water and chicken stock, and you'll scrape the bottom of the pan to get all the nice flavor off of the bottom that came off the crispy chicken. Put the lid on and simmer for 30 minutes. After 30 minutes, you're going to strain that broth to get the vegetables out. You're going to put the broth back into the pan and add in the butter, the lemon juice, the soy sauce, and the apple cider vinegar. Flavor, flavor, flavor. You're going to simmer this until the jus is down by about half or a third of the volume it is now, so that you have a very concentrated flavor. After 45 minutes, take the chicken out and check the internal temperature. If it's at 165, it's ready to take out and cover and give it a rest. Do you see what I see? That is some crispy looking beautiful skin. And I should mention, I took a little bit of the broth throughout the 45 minutes and just put a little on the skin just to baste it a bit. Okay, we've hit 165 for poultry. Now I'm going to cover it in foil and let it rest to let those juices reincorporate. But don't think I'm going to waste those flavorful drippings that came out of the bird. I'm going to pour them right back into my broth. Flavor, flavor, flavor. Take the foil off after about 20 or so minutes and just let the bird sit out on the platter and just watch your friends drool and be amazed by your culinary skills. Take some of the nice jus that you made and baste it over the crispy skin and let that soak in before you start cutting it up into pieces to put back on the platter for serving. Because I'm on 75 hard, I chose to serve my chicken with a nice sweet potato baked. For your friends, you could serve all kinds of different sides. Up to you, and we'll get into those in future episodes. Keep watching. Next week, my YouTube is on my 75 Hard Challenge, and I recap on weeks 3 and 4, the benefits I'm feeling, and some tips to help you get through the challenge the way I am. I'm loving it, and I hope you'll keep watching. Hit notifications so you don't miss a YouTube, and don't forget to subscribe and share with your friends. Have a great week.